I decided to come to Armenia because my wife is Armenian and we have 2 Armenian children. So we've been living in Spain and China many years, and then we decided to give our children the opportunity to grow up here in their country. So I did as an entrepreneur my last company exit 3 years ago. And we decided, okay, why not? Let's move to Armenia, and for me it's also possible to work from here. So that's the simple reason.
Խեսուս Լոզանո, իսպանացի ձեռներեց, բիզնես հրեշտակ, հիմնադրել է Silicon Seed սաղմնային ներդրումներով զբաղվող հիմնադրամը։ Խեսուսը ՏՏ ոլորտի միջազգային փորձագետ է, մենթոր, ձեռնարկատեր, գործակցում է Եվրոպական միության փոքր եւ միջին ձեռնարկությունների զարգացման ծրագրի հետ եւ աջակցում է Հայաստանում Starthub էկոհամակարգի զարգացմանը։ Top Challenge ակսելերացիոն ծրագրի համահեղինակ է, ինկուբատորների եւ ակսելերացիոն ծրագրերի փորձագետ, մենթոր, որը աշխատում է 6 ակսելերատորների հետ։
One of the high-level experts of the European Innovation Council, so this is the largest European fund for high-tech startups. So let's say I'm working on innovation for many governments, from the Chinese government, the Spanish government. So before coming to Armenia, I was supporting the European Commission as an ecosystem builder or innovation builder. So let's say that when we decided to move to Armenia, I also contacted the European Commission to realize, okay, can I support the country? Can I support Armenia? Are you doing initiatives in Armenia? I was very surprised because the European Commission, they didn't expect it, but they are very active supporting Armenia. So let's say for me it was the perfect combination. Like, okay, I can move to Armenia, stay with my family, but also I can work, let's say, as an expert under the European Commission and support the country to grow. Armenia is still in very early stage. It's growing, so we cannot compare Armenia, of course, not with the United States or China, but also is very far from Europe. That is not, let's say, the best example. So Spain is not the best example. So let's say it's in very, very early stage. To understand the ecosystem, we need to understand, let's say, what means ecosystem. So an ecosystem is a group of players, stakeholders, or capacity builders that give resources to the entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur, to go between someone that is an individual to a business person that is having profits, he needs or she needs to have access to knowledge, business knowledge. So this is the role of the incubators, accelerators, business associations. They need to have access for capital, so friends, fools and family, business angels, public grants, venture capitals, banks, okay? And they need to have access also to the market. So business environment through events, international events, and connecting with customers. So let's say that if you see the map, I organize the map, or I'm mapping the players according with the resources that they are giving to the entrepreneur and on the different stages. Because let's say an entrepreneur at the beginning has an idea, then has a product or prototype, then has a small business, and then is having an international business. So in every stage, they need different kind of resources. So if we understand the map, it's very easy to see the biggest gaps, let's say, in Armenia, that are, for me, let's say, the entrepreneur itself. So let's say in Armenia, we have many, but they are very young entrepreneurs. So the average entrepreneur is 24 to 28 years old, that has no experience on, let's say, on the private sector. That means it's people who is totally product-oriented. So it's thinking about the product, and it's not customer-oriented, thinking about the customer and the needs of the customers, or how to sell. So this is the biggest problem. I mean, because we have such a kind of entrepreneur, we need to offer them the perfect, let's say, resources. So we need totally to inspire them to be customer-oriented, problem solver, those soft skills, you know, creative, decision maker, and we don't have such a kind, let's say, big or professional stakeholders at the very early stage. So for me, the first gap is idea stage. We are not offering knowledge, business knowledge on idea stage. So most of the business ideas that I hear from entrepreneurs in Armenia are very bad ideas. So ideas that are not solving a real need, or ideas that are not needed in the market. So we call it problem solution fit or product market fit. So this is the meaning of the incubators. An incubator is taking a person into a team, into a validated idea, and then you go into a business or a startup. So we don't have, let's say, the best incubators. Even I consider that we don't have incubators in Armenia. We have accelerators or pre-accelerators. And also the internationalization. I mean, it's very easy to see how Armenians are creating startups. Armenia is not the market, it's a very small country. So let's say for an Armenian startup, it's very difficult to get customers outside Armenia. So we don't have, let's say, soft landing programs. Our accelerators are not connected with international accelerators. Now we start seeing small, let's say, deals, like for example this project with Draper University, so finally we are sending entrepreneurs to the United States. That from my side is not the best idea because they will stay there, but it's something. So something is happening. We have this 7 Startup Summit that every year is more and more international, is attracting more international, let's say, people, so it's giving better visibility to the Armenian startups. But I see the gaps, I mean the contrasts are those. So idea stage, they need to learn how to validate an idea, and internationalization. So how can connect with international investors, international accelerators, international business associations, so customers. And the pros, I'm very happy we have pros. So the best pro for me is the mentality, so the culture. So Armenia, we are in a very good example room. Armenia is coming from let's say the engineering, mathematics, science. So we have, let's say, high qualified engineers, mathematicians, programmers here in Armenia. It's very easy. Now, for example, I'm moving one of my Spanish companies to Armenia because we have here the tools that we need that is very difficult to find in Spain. So let's say we have the education, the perfect education, also the mentality. So maybe because Armenia itself is not an easy country that is offering a lot of job opportunities, maybe this is making that Armenians are very smart and they need to look the way for living. So let's say it's very easy to find people who can really become good entrepreneurs, good business people. So let's say the entrepreneur again is the pro. So we have this culture. And also sometimes the cooperation. So it's a small city. So for an entrepreneur it's very easy to move. We have many events. So let's say the awareness is great here in Armenia. We have events every week that can help an entrepreneur to understand better what to do and how to move on. So we have big international events like WCIT last year, but also many small local events. I'm participating in many of them. So if you take a look to the badges that I collect, I have like 100 badges per year. So that's very good. We are creating in Armenia on ICT a great environment that is inspiring to the entrepreneur. And I didn't have the opportunity to work with the Armenian government. I was supporting in different countries. For example, you said, okay, which is the solution? So the solution is very clear. I mean, we need to, or the government needs to take control, let's say, of this map, and they need to propose or to empower and professionalize the stakeholders. So we need incubators, and the government must create the policies to help international organizations or foundations to create, or large, big companies to create incubators. I see many needs that the government in the different ministries they are not implementing. So I feel like I should do more, let's say, with the government. I'm doing analysis and studies. For example, I did this study about the ICT sector in Armenia. I did a completely diagnosis. I have a guideline that is one of the European, let's say, guidelines about how to build an ecosystem, but I'm not meeting with the government to say, okay, those are the initiatives, those are how can you create an ecosystem and empower this ecosystem. I mean, from my perspective, the government is not an executor. So, for example, initiatives like sending entrepreneurs to the United States is not something that should be done under the government. This is executing. The government is a policy maker, so they should have, instead sending, let's say, entrepreneurs, they should have to send the professionals. So it is much better for Armenia to send to the United States the 5 directors of the incubators than 5 entrepreneurs, because those guys, they will come back, living the experience, they will have better knowledge, and they will help, let's say, hundreds of entrepreneurs. So let's say that I know the solutions more or less of the more proper initiatives because I was doing many years with another governments. But I didn't have the opportunity because of the change. It was changing government, so I don't know. I mean, even in Armenia, I was more focused on the grassroots, so supporting entrepreneurs. So it's something that I'm now discussing with my partners and colleagues about, okay, maybe I will offer my position to the government. How can I really go into them and support them to let them to have a better understanding about the vision, about how to create this, let's say, this ecosystem for the coming 3, 5, 8, and 15 years, you know. But I'm not sure. I'm also connected with the private sector. In the end, I'm an entrepreneur. So one of my wishes is to come back, to create a company and come back, let's say, to my profile. So I really don't know what is going to happen with me, or with myself here in this year. Because something that I'm trying to teach here in Armenia a lot is that the idea means totally nothing. I mean, the key of the success for the company is how are you going to execute this company. So your strategy and your capacity to execute the company. So for example, now that I'm looking, or maybe I will start looking for the creation of a startup, what I'm looking is, I just listen. So I'm calling my friends that they are investors and I'm asking them, which companies are you willing to invest? What are you looking for? And because I know I can execute the business, so I need to find the idea, but I need to find the idea from them. So if investors are looking for IoT or blockchain or fintech or agro-technologies or clean technologies, I must listen to them, and then I will select the idea that has the most, let's say, powerful or scalability international. So something that I'm not interested on the product. I'm interested about how can you give me money and how can you give me money many times. So this is the way that I find the idea is, okay, this is something that many people is needed, so huge market, that it's easy to internationalize, so it's not complex, let's say complex hardware, logistics, etc. So maybe software, okay, and something that I can execute. So I cannot tell you which kind of project. Even if you see my background, I funded 12 companies and all of them are totally different. So from video gaming to payment platforms to dating sites so they're totally different. So artificial intelligence. So, but all of them, they have one common. It's like they are products that are solving problems that huge amount of people needs. So I go to D2C and let's say very clear need. So the way to start always is asking, let's say, your future customers. I mean, if you like firemen, then go to talk with the firemen and ask them, what do you need? What problems you have? What is making you feel happy? How can I help you in that? Okay? What are you going to pay me for what? I mean, what problem you have that if I solve it, you will pay me? This is the way to get the ideas. The way to get the ideas is asking with the people that you would like to work with. And then they will tell you the ideas. Then there are many other formulas, so look for a quick product. Some problem in Armenia is that we are obsessed with the high tech, so you see many entrepreneurs working on the product 2 years. You have no 2 years. So try to do something very short. In 4 months you have the MVPs or something that you can start having sales, and all the time validate. That means ask, and talk with people. I mean, is this what you think? How can I improve it? What else do you need? What problems you have? You know. In my case, it's very different because I'm not looking for the creation of a company. I'm looking for the internationalization of a company. So then I go to investors and I ask them, which companies are you investing that they need an international CEO? So they tell me, okay, you know, I've been investing in this company, they're doing this product, and they don't have the perfect CEO, so join them. This is what I'm doing because I want to go to the different level. And of course, to go to an investor, that this is a big misunderstanding in Armenia. To go to an investor is because you have validated your team, so you are business people. How you validate your team as a business people? Because you are having sales. You have validated your product, so your product is working and is offering quality. How can you validate your product? Because you are having sales. And you have validated the business model. That means someone is willing to pay you because you are solving something. So how can you validate the business model? Because you are having sales. So if you are not having sales, few sales, don't go to investors. I mean, they will not invest. Go to your father, your mother, go to the European Commission, so they will give you money. But let's say if you want to talk with investors, you need to go with something. Here in Armenia, I'm talking with many entrepreneurs that they say, okay, I have this idea and I need your money. But I don't know you. I mean, the idea can be great, but I don't know you. So I need to know that you can sell this idea. So if you're not having small sales or agreements or piloting or something tangible, it's impossible that I will be interested in you. I really don't know. As I told you, I'm looking for maybe an international opportunity, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm also moving some of my companies here to Armenia, so maybe I will take care of my investees and see how can I help them to grow here. And maybe I will continue working as a, let's say, innovation expert, maybe enhancing my operations to nearest countries. My future is not clear right now. I mean, I need to define what I can do. For sure, I will be here. I mean, minimum 1 more year. So let's see. I mean, in the end, I'm half Armenia. My family is Armenian. I love this country so much. But okay, sometimes I feel that I'm Spanish, so I'm not Armenian. Even I'm not thinking to come back to Spain, but I've been living in many countries, so United States, Germany, Russia, China many years, so I feel that I cannot stay in the same place for long. Even my lifetime is always 5 years. I create a company, I sell it in 5 years, and then I create something new. So I've been in Armenia 3 years, so I still have two more to see. But this is my future. As I see the future of Armenia, I'm very positive. I know that big international firms are coming to Armenia. Even if it is not official, but I'm helping one of the largest IT companies in the world to establish also in Armenian incubators, so things are happening. So I see some international players coming here to help entrepreneurs to create companies. We are going to see this year. We have this example with Rapper, Skydeck, it's also interesting to come. So big players will come. I see that the stakeholders, so the directors of incubators, accelerators, business angels, VCs, are every year getting more and more professional. So my conversations and my opinion about stakeholders 2 years ago and today, and I want one of the, for example, promoters of BANA, Business Angel Network of Armenia, and my opinion about what BANA was doing 2 years ago and BANA is doing today is totally different. So today I see very clear professionals finding good investment opportunities. I see very clear business people willing to invest. So things are changing. We cannot compare 7 Startup Summit 3 years ago to the last year. I mean, it's very clear now for me, they are the most inspiring summit in the world right now. And I'm promoting worldwide when I go like, hey, this is the perfect format. So people come here 7 days, they receive a lot of inspiration, they go into the action. Okay, so let's say I'm seeing that my map is every year more professional. So I'm sure that in the coming 2-3 years, we're going to start listening about big investments and big startups. Even today, I don't know if I can give names, but we know. So there are few startups that I know that will be future unicorns, like can be Crips, for example. So things will happen. I see that Armenia had 5-6 years ago, maybe because Microsoft, so let's say Armenia was in a very good moment that maybe we lost it. So this is because you see companies like Pixar, Zumark was created at that time, but I think we are coming back. So I guess that Armenia will have a very good future, with or without me, on the ICT sector, and we'll see some successful companies very soon. You know.